Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku, and I'm here to review chapter 73 of Noragami. And with this chapter, things seem to be all normal at first, things are going pretty well. We have Yato getting back into the business, and you know what, it was great seeing Yukine be a guidepost once again. He was saying, telling Yato to get off his lazy ass and continue to be a delivery god. Even though, he's still trying to help him become a god of fortune, still, Yukine's just still like, this is what you gotta do, and it's important to me too. And when he said that, I was like, oh baby boy, oh you're back and beautiful as ever. And Hiyori starts to notice that Yato is being extra careful with Yukine ever since he said dad. Hiyori's afraid that the god's secret might come up, and in fact it was mentioned again at the end of the chapter. She's afraid that Yukine might find out about the god's secret. I know that was obvious foreshadow, but I honestly really do not want to know how Yukine died. I would hate that. That would crush me so much. I mean, maybe, I highly doubt this, but maybe it'll end up like what happened with Nana, and how Nana didn't really care about how she died and stuff, she was over it. But she was the rare case. Like, Yukine is still a sensitive boy. Even though he's trying his best to be a strong guidepost, in the end he's still only a child. And he's a sensitive little boy. Like, oh, there's just no, he would be heavily affected by the god's secret. There's just no way, no, please. But anyway, the majority of this chapter was focused on Kunimi, and I'm really happy that we got to learn more about this guy, because I remember when it just seemed like one day he kind of just showed up, and he was kind of just there, always by Ibisu. We didn't really know too much about him, but now we do. And you see, young Ibisu is kidnapped, and of course the kidnappers want some ransom. Kunimi was just exhausted and didn't even pick up the phone when Ibisu called, because Kunimi, he hasn't had any breaks. So same with the rest of the other people who are the other Shinki who are with Ibisu. Like, they haven't had any breaks. So when they called back to the kidnappers and stuff, they're just still like, okay, we'll come rescue you, but we want 3 months vacation time. And it's like, what? Oh my god, you're actually making a deal with Ibisu, okay. And Ibisu, he's just like, well, I only make deals in person, so you're gonna have to try harder than that. Not only that, but it doesn't really matter whether you come or not, because a knife won't kill me, and even if it does, I know I'll reincarnate. So there was a lot of times throughout this chapter where Kunimi questions if Ibisu really values his life. Like, sure, we know Ibisu's going to incarnate, and Ibisu totally knows that because it's happened so many times. However, each Ibisu is different. Sure, they may not be completely different, however, the mind has definitely changed. In the end, they still have the same end goal, but slight things happen, altered. One form of Ibisu was really excited to have the snowboard. The next one didn't want anything to do with it. It's stuff like that that really affects you, and then you have to keep on starting from zero all over again. Kunimi's backstory was so interesting. We find out that Kunimi was given a name by this god, and this god was created by a children's game, and that this happens often, that there are some gods like this who disappear so fast because they're created off of a small little wish. And these children, they grow up and they forget. It's like an imaginary friend they were basically talking about. So this god that was practically an imaginary friend was only a god in name only and didn't really have a form at all. So even though Kunimi had a name, he didn't really have a god anymore. So he was looking towards other shrines to find some work, but of course no one else wants a Nora because he has his name, So then he finds out that Ibisu will take in Noras, and we find out that Ibisu, he can't turn into a specific weapon or item, but instead can possess his master's body. And he tried to show how strong he is, but it just creeped Ibisu out. So he was just like, okay, you just stick with making borderlines. So he did that for months, and that must have been boring as hell. And later on, he started growing a connection with one of Ibisu's incarnations. So they finally go in, help out Ibisu. Kunimi was so sad that he saved Ibisu so late, and then this was hilarious. Ibisu paid Yato in like quadrillions of Zimbabwe dollars. But that only was like equivalent to a 5 yen. I'm just like, what? What? You gotta be kidding me. That was... Oh man, I died. That was so funny. And now all the workers over in the Ibisu home get a break once a month. Those poor schmucks. And that was this chapter. Let me know your thoughts on Kunimi's backstory, his relationship with Ibisu, how Ibisu feels about his life, and about Yukine and the God's Secret, because I'm really worried about that one. Oh boy. I'm your female otaku, sayonara.